And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're literally getting there. A little slower than I'd like. So hit subscribe, watch, comment. Please keep commenting and share with family and friends because the insanity, the chaos, it's not going to stop. Now, look, I've been saying this again and again and again. You start listening to all these folks, they're just calling Trump, they're just calling him names. And you can call Trump all the names that you want. Doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Regardless of what you think, that's true. Democrats we're not going to win back seats in the House or the Senate by calling Trump an idiot. All right? Just not. The way to win is by going to purple and red states and speaking out, just like what Adam Mockler did this weekend in Arizona. Today, I want to talk about the redistricting that's happening in Texas and the response that New York Governor Kathy Hochul made, someone who's actually speaking up in an admirable way, pointing out the obvious, that Trump has changed the playing field and that we need to do the same. Play the clip.
I'm tired of fighting this fight with my hand tied behind my back. With all due respect to the good government groups, politics is a political process. And to think that we're going to do this with a purity test and make sure it's completely fair to everybody involved, the reason we are able to draw the lines because we're Democrats, because the majority of people in this state selected us, elected us to be leaders. And when we say that we cannot use that power to its fullest, then we're abdicating the responsibility that we all have. Republicans take over the legislature, they can have at it. But until then, we're in charge, and we're sick and tired of being pushed around when other states don't have the same aspirations that we always have had. And I hold those dear. But I cannot ignore that the playing field has changed dramatically. And shame on us if we ignore that fact and cling tight to the vestiges of the past. That era is over. Donald Trump eliminated that forever.
By the way, he most certainly did. He's playing by no rules. You can't figure out what the rule is because it doesn't exist yet. He hasn't created it. Sean Hannity, then he spoke with Texas Governor Greg Abbott about Hochul's comments. Check this out. Play the clip.
Well, certainly it should be somewhat proportional to what the vote is. What is your response to Kathy Hochul, who says that we are at war over Texas and the redistricting push that's going on in Texas?
There's a bunch of crazy bluster. Democrats are freaking out because they are realizing Texas has the authority to redistrict, and we're going to do so in a way that's going to lead to these additional seats that will vote Republican, and they will be serving in Congress in the next session. And so Democrats are freaking out about it, engaging in rhetoric, but I don't think they have the capability of actually living up to it and doing anything about it. Texas will continue to fight for what is right, and that's exactly what we are doing.
What he's basically telling you is that we can do whatever we want that benefits us. But if you tried to do the same thing, well, you're being improper. He also says that gerrymandering happening in blue states is distorting the politics in America. Serious? Play the clip.
For example, I think Donald Trump won in all 5 of these seats that we will be making Republican seats. The same thing should apply in all those other states, Sean, that you mentioned in your monologue, where you pointed out the gross gerrymandering in these blue states have rejected Republican candidates for office that should be serving those states, should be serving our country. It's the gerrymandering in the blue states that has distorted the politics in America.
All right, Governor, good for you. Good for the fight. We'll see if these guys show up and do their job as they should do. But clearly, they don't want the same rules applied to them. That's what this story is really all about.
The only thing distorted more than Sean Hannity is Governor Abbott's bullshit. Now on CNN, the guests at the table debated why Democrats are coming out and saying that they want to redistrict as well. Play the clip.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that like half the Democrats are out here saying like the Republicans are cheating, and the other half are saying, "Wait a minute, we need to do it too. If you're doing it, we're going to do it too."
Adam Kinzinger, before we came on with John King at 8 o'clock, he said he was gerrymandered in his own district. Mm-hmm. That's why he lost his race. He said that, and we know he doesn't like Trump.
Garrett?
But I think part of this is the Democrats are doing it in response to the Republicans doing something that is atypical. It is totally normal to redistrict. It is something that happens based on the census, and then we sort of reapportion Congress. Everyone redraws their districts, and it's meant to be a process that occurs sort of traditionally in American politics on that once-a-decade schedule. And for the Republicans to be trying to change the rules in the middle of the decade right now
that's the curious
is the
part.
thing.
Why is it being done now?
Yeah, it's absolutely inappropriate. And we know the basis. It's not even like they're hiding. They're not hiding in the shadows with what they're doing. They're doing it right out in the open. They are shoving it into the faces of the American people and saying, we need these 5 seats because it is a razor-thin majority that's giving the House to the Republican Party, who is running amok. They are refusing to do investigations where investigations should be had. You have people like MAGA Mike Johnson, who just sits there and capitulates to whatever it is that Trump desires. But it's not just MAGA Mike. It's the vast, vast, vast majority of the Republican leaders. They're not leading. Fact being, you don't even need them there. Just whatever Trump says, just rubber stamp it. Now, meanwhile, on the Brothers podcast, Midas Touch podcast, Brett made a truly interesting observation about the Freedom to Vote Act. Play the clip.
I'm against gerrymandering in general, right? I think it's horrible that politicians are able to choose their own voters, but that does not mean that we could unilaterally disarm and you just allow parties to do that while you just stand by and let them run you over with a truck. I mean, that makes zero sense to me. So I'm happy that you have governors like Newsom and Hochul who are speaking out and are saying, oh, if you're going to do that, well, we're going to do that too. And I want to remind everybody also, because Democrats are so graded on a curve and they're not actually given any credit for the things that they actually do try to push. I want to remind you to one of the first things that the Democrats tried to do back in 2021 after President Biden took office then. They tried to pass what? The Freedom to Vote Act. This was one of their big pieces of legislation that they tried to put forward. In 2021, this Freedom to Vote Act banned partisan gerrymandering. It was one of the big provisions of the act. And it wasn't like some lefty, out there far left bill, as like the Republicans like to explain. This was a bill to reform our election system. It banned partisan gerrymandering. It required voter ID, something that Republicans like to say that Democrats are totally against. Guess what? Not a single Republican voted for the Freedom to Vote Act. That would have solved all of these issues. Democrats had a bill in Congress, in the Senate, that would have codified a ban on partisan gerrymandering, and the Republicans blocked it. That's something that we need to be calling out here.
Yes, we absolutely do. Meanwhile, Bakari Sellers, former South Carolina House of Representative, he pointed out that if Republicans were going to sweep the midterms in 2026, they wouldn't be doing this. Play the clip.
For the Republicans to be trying to change the rules in the middle of the decade right now
that's the curious
is the
part.
thing.
Why is it being done now?
But it's not curious. And so let me just say this. If Republicans were going to march to a sweep in 2026, would you be trying to realign districts today? The answer is no. And so, yes, the answer is if you can't win the game as it's played right now, you just rig it, right? And so that's what's happening before our eyes. And I think that is what, I get it. American public may not understand gerrymandering, right? They may not understand the word. They may not grasp how it's done every 10 years or how it's done. But what they do realize is that the economy sucks. 11 million people are getting kicked off Medicaid. The things that the competency and consistency that they had previously is not there anymore. And Republicans are losing. So now they're changing the game. All right. We're going to take.
Look, let me be clear about something. Like what Bakari just said in this previous clip, not everyone understands what gerrymandering means. But unlike Jesse Waters, oh yes, the jerk off Jesse himself, I'm going to show you in this next clip, Bakari wants to actually educate Americans that are unaware. Play the clip.
Their jobs. The American people don't know the word gerrymander. You go out into the street, you ask them what gerrymander is, they don't know and they don't care. They have other things they're dealing with. They know what it looks like when you don't go to work. And all the headlines right now are Democrats run away from their jobs.
What? Democrats run away from their jobs. Really? Jesse, my dear friend, need I remind you who it was that closed the House early for August recess because they didn't want to deal with the Epstein debacle? Right? Jesse also made an insanely stupid comment about Abbott announcing that he wants to arrest the representatives that left Texas, saying that he's sending them, to El Salvador. Play the clip.
Democrats had until 3 to show, and they didn't. So Governor Abbott's sending out a posse to arrest them for dereliction of duty and drag them back to the Capitol. They told us no one is above the law. And if they resist, the posse is going to hand them to Homan, and they'll wind up in El Salvador with the Maryland dad.
I can't imagine the fact that Fox allows this sort of stupidity on their station. I can't believe that Jesse, as fucked up as he is as a human being, I cannot believe that he could actually utter those words as he did. Representatives leave, and all of a sudden now you think you're going to send a posse to pick them up, turn them over to Tom Homan, Department of Homeland Security, and send them off to El Salvador? It's not just inflammatory, it's patently stupid and asinine. Then again, it's what we expect from him. Finally, Jesse tries to talk about Texas District 35, but the schmuck confuses Houston and San Antonio. Play the clip.
And look at one of the Texas districts that Democrats are running away from. They basically drew a highway between Houston and Austin. Even the media is calling them hypocrites.
Yeah, and we're calling you stupid. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.